Good news, everybody! It's time for another Ixalan friendly sealed league match, and let's hope this time I don't get as mana screwed. So this hand definitely looks nice. The freebooter into the New Horizons to the Jade Guardian sounds really nice. So far in this league, I'm 2-3, so I'm a little disappointed in the results. I definitely built out my deck poorly in the beginning. And so I just haven't quite recovered from those stats, and the past couple of games I've definitely had some mana issues that have created some issues. And the last game I just could not recover after being mana screwed for so long. I'm not liking that I'm drawing all sorts of lands for this. I'd like to see something other than a land coming up soon. The freebooter will be nice to let us see what he has in his hand. So we've got draw 2 cards, create that. And I'm going to grab the deaths just because bounce effects are really annoying. I was gonna go and play the New Horizons to give this plus a few, but I'm gonna play the Pirate's Cutlass instead because it auto-equips. Then I can play the Jade Guardian and then play New Horizons on it to have a 4/4 hexproof. And this is aggressive enough that I think I want to swing in with it. He'll be ahead of us on the race just by a smidge, but hopefully I can make up that ground later on. I do know that he has the Tempest Collar, which will be frustrating. Obviously I wasn't going to do much, so drawing cards makes more sense for him. So next turn when he comes in, he's going to hit me for 2, which ties us up. I doubt he's going to play the Tempest Collar. And at this point, I'm not sure what else he's drawn. So he's got the Lannery Storm. Okay. So he can take out my Jade Guardian if he attacks in with that. And he plays a second Sky March. So I'm going to let this go through. And I'm not going to block it. Which is painful. The Thundering Dino will be nice because I'll be able to get that on turn 6. And I will be able to swing in with the New Horizons, or once I drop the token with the New Horizons. I have to be careful. Next turn he can attack in for 8, which is quite a bit, whereas I'm only attacking in for 7. So it might be prudent to hold it back here. As much as I want to attack in, I won't have him for lethal, and he'll be able to swing in hard with the flyers, and I know he's got the untapper. To do lethal soon. So I'm not going to attack this turn. Hopefully it's the right call, so I can take out some of his dudes. It's unlikely that he'll drop the Tempest Caller, but it is possible, which means that he's wasted it this turn, and I might be able to do enough to hold up play next turn. Yep. So he plays it this turn instead. Which is expected. We'll swing in for 6. He can do 8 if he chooses. That's unlikely. I just hope he doesn't have another Tempest Caller in his hand. Though he might have a bounce spell to ping it back. Headstrong Brute. So if I cast the Bloodletter, I go up to 6. He drops down to 15. I can block his Captain, his Caller, or I can double block the Brute, which is unlikely. Or I can play the Spine back, block a bunch of the ground dudes, and block one of his flyers, and play the Sky March next turn and potentially create a Dino as well. No, I won't be able to do that. I'll be 1 mana short from that, but there could be something else creative that I do. So I guess I'll go big and try the Dino. This could easily be the wrong play, but I'm going to try it. Getting the Reach Dino and then also being able to play the Blood March would be really nice next turn. Or if he does crack in with everything, the Fleet Master or the Fleet Ravager would be nice too, because then I could take away a lot of his life and potentially crack in if I have anything left. So I'm intrigued to see what he ends up having. I'm assuming he has... Yeah, he has Alpha no matter what, doesn't he? Yeah. The Blood... I should have played the Bloodletter, because that would have given me just enough to survive. So that was stupid on my part. I don't think the Crushing Canopy is worth it against him, just because we've only seen the 2 flyers. It would have been nice to get some of our damage in there, and I probably should have blocked his captain sooner. I think I'm going to go with what we have here, and hope I can do better this time. So I'm somewhat happy with this hand. It's nice to see some removal. That would have helped out last turn. Seeker Squire should be good in the beginning. And then the sailback is always nice. And we've got Contract Killing now too. So we've got a couple good options, and we have some mana. So let's see what happens. I'm definitely happy to see the Bloodletter on top. Maybe this time we can be a little bit more aggressive than he was. As much as I want to play the Bloodletter, I think killing this guy sooner will just be good. I'm assuming he's going to block just to get the treasure, because that seems to help his deck. But I don't think there's any blue pump spells, so I'm okay trading with this. Especially because next turn I can play my own Contract Killing, or play Contract Killing, or I can hold back for Snapping Sailback, depending on what he plays here. Interesting to choose Dinosaur. Red Dino? Okay. Contract Killing it is. Next turn I should be able to play the Snapping Sailback and the New Horizons. I'll probably drop the token or the counter on the Sky March. Interesting that he just went with my little explorer dude instead of the flyer. I'm happy to see the lightning strike and a few ways to cast it, which makes me not want to play this sail back right away this turn just to hold up some of the treasures. Though if I do play it this turn, I could use the New Horizons and the lightning strike to win. He could have one of his bounce cards though, so we'll see if he drops that. Yep. Here's the bounce. Potentially could have waited to flash it in, but he's all tapped out, so if he has a counter spell in his hand, I wouldn't have to worry about that. So we definitely have a few ways of killing him next turn, depending on what he draws and does to us. I'm assuming, probably wrongly, that he may end up trying to concede soon. The bounce is annoying, but we still win because I don't think there's any 2-mana dinos. And while I'm not a fan of showing the lightning strike, I'd rather just wrap this up. I'm not a fan of showing the lightning strike. Yeah. But I think winning it sooner than later was a good choice. I still don't think there's too much else here that we can play that'll be worthwhile. He seems to have a low cost creature deck, so the Fiery Cannonade might be worth putting in instead of, say, the Pirate's Cutlass. But it is risky since most of my creatures are pretty small as well. So I think I'll hold off. It would have been really nice if the Seeker's Squire was a pirate as well, just because then it would be amazing with the Cutlass. But the freebooter is still really amazing if you can follow it up with the Cutlass. Because then you have a 3/3 flyer on turn 3 for not much mana. So I'm okay with this. The Drover is definitely nice, especially to follow it up with the Grazing Whiptail, because I do know he has a few flyers. It'll be big enough that some removal won't really impact it as much, and then Vanquish the Weak will be nice as well. Hopefully we don't keep drawing more lands. I can't seem to settle on a nice balance for these. Maybe he plays his own Booter and takes out the Vanquish. Nope, he's playing the Saboteur as well. So he's going to get to loot next turn. But I guess I would play the Whiptail, hold up mana. Oh no. I'll play the Whiptail, attack in. Or I can't play that, but well, I can. Next turn I'll probably Vanquish the Weak on the Saboteur. This might be the time that he decides to make it unblockable. Or he's going to burn out the Whiptail. I'm tempted to attack in, but I think I might wait until his turn to see if he does something, and then use the Vanquish the Weak on it. And then maybe I'll attack in next turn. And then I might be able to get 2 cards in his graveyard, so I can use the Deadeye Tracker. Or play it and then use the ability on the following turn. So far on Sealed, I've been pretty unimpressed by this guy. I think it could be good, but I just don't think there's enough in the graveyards to warrant it. At least from what I've seen, there might be some decks that like it, but it just hasn't been what I've needed or wanted. I'm hoping that he activates the ability for the Saboteur, so that way he can try to swing in with very little mana tapped, so that way I can play Vanquish the Weak. strange. I'm not sure what he has. Oh, he probably has a bounce. Yep. That's exactly what he's doing. It's doubtful, but if he swings in with a Sky March, I might... Yeah, I'd probably block it with my flyer. It seems like a reasonable trade at this point. So the Deathless Ancient is annoying to see, but at least I should still be able to block it with the Whiptail. If he does swing in, I'll be able to crack back with more. And if it does land in the graveyard, I'll be able to remove it with the Deadeye Tracker. So I might not remove what he has in his graveyard currently, just so that way I've got the 2 cards for it. But I would like to see Contract Killing. The Sword Tooth is nice. I will have to pump this guy first. But ooh, I definitely want to keep that on the top of my library. That is really nice to see, because that means I'm going to take out his Deathless Ancient, and then now I can spike using one of the Drovers, and take out his Daring Saboteur. Unless he has some sort of counter to it, or a way to bounce his dude. But he doesn't. I'm not going to attack in with the Whiptail, because then his Ancient could take it out. And I'll just save that for the Contract Killing, which I think he'll definitely know about.